and thank you for joining me tonight. I'm a master teacher Reiki practitioner working out of the New York City area. I see clients in person for Reiki sessions in Manhattan and Brooklyn, and I teach Reiki in Staten Island, and do other workshops and stuff like that too as well now. If you'd like to follow me on social media, I'm on Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook, so you can follow me there if you want to reach out or anything like that. Or you can always get in touch with me through my website, which is INNATE.com. There you can also find like the other services that I offer as well for like distance sessions and things like that. I've noticed this phenomenon where we all complain, right? We all have voices, and sometimes we use them to complain. We're not perfect. And something that I've noticed is that people, like, especially when we're talking about someone else, so let's say someone's complaining and they're complaining about someone, and when you're listening to them complain, you're like, but don't you realize that you're the same? Like, don't you realize you do the exact same thing? It's like we look for what we don't like about ourselves in other people, and then we pick them apart for it. Like, I don't know if you've experienced that, but I've seen it happen so much this past month that I felt like very drawn to do a session based on this. I have a lot of like requests that I have to get to, but this was just something I felt was very necessary. So for the session that we're going to do today, the purpose or intention is for us to see in other people that the truth here, that this is what we're doing. We're picking them apart for what's truly within us, for things that we dislike about ourselves. If we experience unconditional love of self and loved our flaws and loved, the things that make us us, even though we're always trying to get better and be a better person and climb these ladders or, move ahead or whatever it is, we have things within us that we don't like, and we pick them apart. We identify them in other people like a mirror, and we complain about them. We like, oh, what's wrong with this guy, when it's like, wow, that's me, So my intention here is, again, to just give us that sight, like give us that like intuition of like noticing that this is what this person does, and it's getting under my skin. Like, why does this get under my skin? Why do I feel like I need to complain about it? Because maybe I'm trying to distance myself from it, because I'm trying to say like, oh, that's not me, or something. Like, I don't know where it comes from. I am like doing some meditation on it and stuff to try to like decipher this a little more on a personal level, so that I can help my clients and help myself as well, because I'm guilty of it too, So anyway, let me show you some of the stones that I picked out for this purpose. The first one is hematite. It's a very reflective stone, a lot of iron in it, and it's I choose it for its reflective qualities, to see like that we are living in this world of mirrors. What you love about someone is typically something you love about yourself, or that you want to see in yourself. What you dislike about someone is also something that is coming from within. We project, we're projectors, and it's just a very useful thing to think of ourselves that way, to know that this is the world that we're living in, and this is the people that we're interacting with, and we're all very much one and the same when it comes to our faults in many ways. Now, am I talking about like truly horrible people that do like horrible things, like to children or animals and things like that? Like, obviously there's a line that gets drawn, but I'm just saying as like human level typical faults, like someone who's conceited, let's say, and then being like, oh, this guy is so conceited, or vain or whatever, but like we have those qualities within us. Or this person's always late, this person's flaky, they never return my text, and then like we do the same stuff, or cutting people off when we're driving. Like, we've all been there where we're like, oh crap, I didn't even see that person, I cut them off, geez, I feel like a jerk, like, I'm just saying that it's all one and the same in that way. We should just learn to see that within ourselves. Put out this little piece of blue calcite for removing blockages in our vision particularly. And then this piece of chrysocolla for calming that expressive side of us that loves to complain and point things out about other people. So I want this to not only activate our heart in a sense, but have us speak better, like have us think for a second and be like, okay, wait, what am I doing? Wait, I do that same thing. Like, why am I hating on this person? I should be showing them love because like they are me. They are doing the same thing that I do. We all make mistakes. We all have flaws. We all have little intricacies to our personality, and it's a beautiful thing. Here's a piece of water clear quartz, again for vision. A popolite pyramid, again for vision and insight, connection. And here's a beautiful piece of, I'm kind of sad about this piece. This is a piece of optical calcite. It has so many rainbows in it. One of the services that I offer is kind of doing a distance Reiki session and sending a stone as well. So I like to stack up on nice stones that I find. And I found this one. I was so happy and excited to be able to pass it on. And I dropped it. I like knocked it off of my altar where I had it like, you know, resonating. And it was very interesting because the way it looks, like how it's so cube-like, a whole layer came off, like a whole little, like a piece of glass almost, like the same shape. But if you didn't know any better, you'd probably think it was glass. It actually happened on my best friend's birthday, so I gave it to her because sometimes when stones break, they're meant to be shared. Like if it's like a true, like actual piece of stone, they're meant to be shared. So I think that there was a purpose for it. However, I was kind of sad because I don't feel like I can give it away now. I feel like it needs to stay. It's a little bit of a wounded warrior, but we'll see. Maybe someone will reach onto it. And then I have another piece of a popolite, which is more of a cluster, which I just wanted to put in the middle here. So those are my intentions. It's all about seeing within ourselves the fact that, like, whether we see good or we see bad or whatever you want to call it out there, that's all within us. So like, let's be a little more patient, you know, let's have a little self-realization. And if someone gets on your nerves and you're like experiencing like something and you can think like, oh man, but that's me, that's something I do, we're going to be a lot more patient. And it'll also inspire us to work on ourselves more. Like, oh, I don't really want to be like that. Like, oh, I don't want to be that guy that's talking super loud or only talks about himself or never asks any questions to anyone else or whatever it is. Like, I don't want to be I don't know, I'm sure you get it. Like, there's so many things. So I'm going to start with the singing bowl to clear the space here. If you don't have a singing bowl and you're interested in using sound to clear your space, you can do so by listening to some beautiful Tibetan bowl music that they have on YouTube, and just blast it from your speakers or headphones. Speakers, I guess, would be more appropriate for clearing the space, however. Again, we're going to use Palo Santo today. To cleanse the space and just bring that like sacred vibe in. I also like it because it incorporates for me fire, air, and earth. Air, smoke. If you're setting up your altar, an altar, if you're not sure about it and it sounds too like witchy or crazy or something for you, it's a very personal place for you to just meditate and focus your thoughts and give thanks and be grateful. It has nothing to do with anything, you know. It is what you make it. So I like to represent, you know, all the elements, so earth, air, fire, water, and spirit as well. So I have like a little water plant there, so I have some like water and a space for my incense, a space for a candle, and then the plant is kind of the earth, but also like stones can be for earth and things like that, and it's really beautiful. Something to add a little more meaningfulness to it too is to incorporate the direction, like north, east, south, and west for the corresponding ones, or tarot, like cups, pentacles, swords, and oh my gosh, wands. Trying to blink. Okay, so if you're interested, if you're watching this video for more than just relaxing purposes, more than just ASMR or anything like that, if you're interested in receiving a Reiki session for this purpose, all you need to say is, something either aloud or to yourself, that I accept this energy, I welcome this Reiki, session for the purpose of being able to see myself and others and understand that for the good of all, we are all very much, reflections of each other. So to be less judgmental, to have more love for ourselves. You can look at it the other way too, where sometimes the people we love, we let their flaws like slide because we love them so much, or we find them charming and endearing or quirky, or just like something that makes them them. But the same faults that we find in them that we possess ourselves, we will beat ourselves up for. So just you could look at it that way as well. So now we're going to do an aura fluffing, and then I'll do the combing after. The fluffing just makes our aura very thick, or thicker, makes it uniform density wise, and protects us, and it's soothing and relaxing. I love doing this to my clients because I always really like it. What's not to like? mentioned this in another video, but I did get a really good question somewhat recently asking if this was done for strictly ASMR purposes or if it was for like to be more really like real in the session or whatever. And it's both. I mean, I choose to do it this way because I think it's a better view for you. But when you get your Reiki 2 certification, one of the something you learn is distance Reiki, and there are many ways to do it, but I like to use a proxy because it gives me something tangible to focus on, something more physical. And the proxy that I use for videos is a camera on a tripod with a microphone. So it has ears, it has legs, it has eyes and head, and it just lets me visualize more easily. So really want to focus on the vision, but also the heart and the crown, that like all is one connectedness. So I think that's all I have for this video. I hope that you found this beneficial, something to think about, or just relaxing. It's something to help you sleep easier or drift off or just unwind. Again, I'm so grateful. Like, I love talking to all you guys and interacting. I'm always very appreciative to, receive your comments and just the kind words that you have for me. I do appreciate suggestions, of course. Criticism is okay, but it's also like this isn't like the last goal quality-wise of my videos or anything. Like, I do want to improve, so I'll get there. So anyway, thank you, just so much. I'm just so grateful, and namaste.